All right, 20 after 5 a.m. Here comes the first pump. 56 meter, rolling up. All right, so here we are, and that's what we're pouring. So it's 1,400 cubic meters raft slab. It's about 6 feet deep. We've got Putzmeister 39 meter placing boom sitting over there on the RS 850 self-climbing mast. He's going to stretch out, and he's feeding into this little 18 meter Spyder boom here. And then feeding into that placing boom, we got a Putzmeister truck-mounted CP2110 sitting over in the far corner there. And it's a little tough to see because it's kind of dark out still, obviously. But that hard line coming all the way down, feeding into that placing boom. And yeah, the goal, I believe, is to get about 60 cubic meters per hour out the end of that Spyder boom there. So it is quite a run. You've got about 600 feet of pipe by the time you actually reach in that placing boom. So yeah, it will be an interesting day to say the least. And yeah, I'm estimating, I think our goal here is to achieve about 250 cubic meters per hour between the 3 pumps. If we get lucky and we do get the 2 mixers at a time to our 56 meter pump here, which I was talking about earlier, we should have no problem achieving that goal. But if we're stuck with only 1 mixer at a time to the back of each of these 2 pumps out here, it'll yeah, we'll have our work cut out for us. So anyhow, check back in here when we start setting things up. Land an outrigger. Well, we're not going to try to, we're actually going to do it. We are going to do it. We're going to land an outrigger right in this area here. And the idea is we get him as close to this pole as possible. In that far distance there, there's another light post. And we need to get that pump up as tight as we can, such that there's enough room to get 2 mixers to the back of the hopper. And the inside mixer still has room to get out between the back of the pump and that other light post. I think it's a 50-50 as to whether or not it's actually going to work. So we're just going to do our darndest here to make it work. So we'll see how it goes here. Mike's got this all calculated out. You want your outrigger on this side, right? Or you want to try and go in front of it? Oh, you know what? Yeah, you won't be able to. Your boom will be into that lamppost. I'll tell you when to stop. About there. Which is actually perfect anyhow. Your outrigger is just barely going to clear that. You might have to back up like 6 inches even. So to get that outrigger just past this pole here. Good. Okay, lots of room. And you'll see what I mean here. That post is about 60 feet that way. So we need to get a truck in here, a truck on the street, and have room to get this truck out and past him. This actually looks a little better than I initially thought, now that we got the pump in here. The other concern, trying to get a little bit level here, is if the hopper is going to be too high for the mixer, which is sitting street side. We can always put some timbers down and get the truck to back up on them to get them at that hopper. So there's definitely ways around that. The other setup here, let's walk up the street here and take a look. This one's the easy one.
Yeah.
Our 47 meter pump is going to nose right into this area here. Now the poopy thing is, once again, we got another light post in the way. So it's going to be just 1 truck at a time to this pump. The reason why we can't get 2 lanes here is this is a busy street. So the 1 lane that we are keeping open, that's just going to be for mixer trucks to get by and access the pumps. Otherwise, the mixers would have to come down side street, residential street. They'd be staging all the way up the road here. It'd be a logistical nightmare. So that is why it's so critical to keep this 1 lane open, just for ready mix access to the pumps. So yeah, we won't worry too much about this setup here. This one's easy peasy. It's this guy here is the critical setup that we got to dial in. So we'll work on that. My biggest complaint about these newer style Z-booms on the big booms is how long those last two sections are on the overlap. You gotta raise that main section almost straight vertical before you can unfold and clear the pedestal. I guess it makes for better packaging on the truck, but as far as for unfolding height, it definitely doesn't help the operators at all. But Putzmeister isn't the only one doing this. I think almost every major manufacturer is kind of gravitating towards this style of boom configuration and layout. So yeah, it definitely makes things a little bit tougher at times. But yeah, so he's of course Murphy's Law. We had the boom coming off the wrong side here, so he put the outrigger's all the way out. He's going to lift that second section straight up. Well, not even straight up, sorry, because we're fully rigged. We don't have to. But just high enough to clear that lamp standard. We'll swing around, drop the boom back down in the cradle, and then we're gonna have to bring these outriggers back in, because as I mentioned earlier, this is our lane for the ready mix trucks to access to the pump. So all right, so here we go, we're all set up. I'm going to revert on my previous odds of 50-50 chance of getting 2 trucks at a time to the back of this pump. It's actually looking a lot better than we thought. So I'm going to go with an 80-20 final answer. All right, so here's a little better view of what's going on. So you got your 39-meter Putzmeister placing boom reaching into the Spyder boom there. 56-meter. It's all lined up, good to go. Just waiting on our 47-meter here. Should be down in the hole and ready to rock shortly. And the good times will begin. There's Dan. Dan was in one of my previous videos. Let's watch Dan prime the placing boom. Am I allowed to film this, or is this proprietary information? So the grout goes in the pump, and then the pump pumps the grout into the hole. End of story. Or something like that.
Now you're looking good.
Want to explain your technique?
Just letting it get above the cylinder so we don't get too much air in when we start pumping. I'm going to turn the pump on here in a second, and we should be good to go.
And then what are you going to do when you get into the regular mode? Transition it? What's your technique? Are you going to blend it or just give her?
Blend it, both. Blend it and give her.
Oh man, this guy does it all. No surprise.
Okay, here we go.
All right, here we go. Pump on. All right, so here we are. Grout is through the placing and Spyder booms, and we are pumping away. Going to talk to the guys here and see what they have planned for blowout of the system at the end of the pour here. This actually worked out way better than I thought. We were really concerned about the mixers having room to get past this pole here. But watch this, we got acres of space here. All that stress for nothing. This guy's going to make it look easy. Mostly because it is easy. Well, he's taking a little bit of time with it. Lots of space. Perfect. Good job, buddy. You know, yeah, I literally didn't sleep last night thinking about this. So I'm glad it all worked out. Here's that truck pulling out of that spot I was telling you about that we were so worried about. Well, look at this. Lots of room. It's actually worked out way better than we'd anticipated. They're just flying in and out of here today. So, and as such, production is up. Hey, it's my favorite ready mix driver. Hey, you might be on camera. You want to say anything? You're doing a good job of keeping the concrete where it's supposed to go. I like that. Yeah, I like that, right? Look at this. Hardly a drop on the ground. These guys are the best. The best. Okay, pro tip. Never park your pickup truck directly underneath of the boom. Is there anything you'd like to say about this, Mr. Swivel Gasket? Yeah, that's what I thought. You're sorry you'll never do it again, right? Yeah, okay. Okay, Mike, I want to do an experiment. Show me how you can make the boom bounce around a lot and how you can make it stop bouncing around a lot just by controlling the pump speed. So you watch, he's going to pick like an intermediate pump speed here and the thing's going to float around, getting that slow kind of rhythmic bounce as it's doing right now. Okay, now make it smooth. What's the trick?
Turn it all the way up.
Turn it all the way up. That's what he says. Make it smooth, turn it all the way up. Let's see. Look at that. It's just got a nice little twitch to it. Oh, except for the driver let it suck air. As soon as it pulls air in, it starts doing exactly what it's doing now. Once the driver catches up again, it'll smooth right out. Once the driver catches up again, it'll smooth right out. There we go. As long as those pipes are slapping, the hopper is full and she's nice and steady. So yeah, that's kind of the trick to a lot of these newer lightweight boom designs. You just got to find the right boom position and the right pumping speed. It's not like the old pumps where the booms were built like tanks and you could pretty much do whatever you wanted with them and they were rock solid regardless. These new ones can be just as smooth. It just takes a little bit more finesse and a little bit more thinking. But that's full speed there again, 140 plus meters an hour. And that's actually a 4.5 inch hose on the end. It's not even a 5-inch hose. So the reason for the 4.5 inch hose is this pump will be doing a lot of the top up. So it just makes it a little bit easier for the placers to push things around when they're just topping up that last 8 to 10 inches of concrete. Thank you, Mike. The viewing audience appreciates it greatly. She's working, you can hear it. Anyhow, yeah, I think the supply rate in total here is probably about 250 meters an hour, pretty close to it. So hopefully we'll be out of here by about 3 or 4 o'clock. We shall see. Really cool here to show you. They're hardline before it exits down into the excavation. They actually run it to the back of the pump for their diversion valve, which is located in the pit there. And then they bury it underground and they run it under the asphalt all the way to here. And they do that such that they're not blocking this person's driveway and they're not blocking access to the fire lane for this townhouse complex. I'll walk over there and just video this, so I won't be able to say much because it's just way too loud over there. You'll never hear me, if you can even hear me now. The diversion valve is located right inside this little tank here. Alright, so we have reports of the pump truck short stroking. So we're gonna go have a look at this and see if we can sort this out just with some basic techniques. And if that doesn't fix it, then we'll move on to some more advanced measures, shall we say. So we're gonna try and alleviate this. The first thing we're gonna try and do is hold the stroke change button and stretch those pistons right to the end of the cylinder on each side. See if we can get it to correct. We'll go around the side here, talk to it. It's exactly the kind of content we want. You still doing it? Try next time it does that. Hold the interrupt button down and let it pressure out. Hold it and let it, yeah, and then hit it again. And do the same thing on the other side. Hold it, yeah, and hit it again. Well, let's see if it goes away. Come right back. Gonna hang out here and see if it does it again. It would appear that we have alleviated the problem. Sometimes what's gonna happen is you get, now I'm not super technically sound on this kind of stuff as far as the hydraulics go, but I believe you can end up with excessive amount of oil bypassing the seals on the drive cylinders. You just have to do a high pressure on each side to do a stroke correction. The other thing that I do honestly know more about is if you were to get some material caked up on the ends of the drive cylinders, or the material cylinders, sometimes high pressuring out will stretch that stroke right out to the very end of the barrel. You're just holding it there for a couple seconds, that's that extra few inches, and you can work that material back out. But yeah, it seems to be working fine now. I will not pretend to be an absolute expert in this stuff, but I know using that stroke correction to high pressure on each one of the cylinders quite often will alleviate gremlin type issues such as this. So we are back pumping normal. It is all good. Wow, so that was actually great footage. I might have inadvertently and falsely made myself look smart. But honestly, if there's anybody watching this video, any Putzmeister mechanical experts with experience that want to explain further what they think the issue may have exactly been, I'd love to see some feedback. Like I said, I'm not a mechanic expert. I know the basic stuff and I can get out of basic situations, but I don't have all the technical explanations for why things do what they do when they do it. So, not gonna lie to you, we keep it real here at Canadian Concrete Pumper. So here we are, we're about 6.5 hours into the pour. Got a little bit over 1,200 meters down on the ground here. So it looks like the placing boom setup has done about 400 meters. The 56 meter pump there has done about 600 meters. And the 47 meter pump, which has only been getting serviced one truck at a time, he's right around 200. So all in all, it's a pretty good day. One cool thing here, the way they've run their line. is, well, rather than cool, I should say proper. Instead of running the line straight vertical down into the hole and potentially creating issues with segregation and plugging, they've done a nice job here with sweep elbows, diagonal runs, thrust blocks, more sweep elbows, all the way down into the parquet and back up to the placing boom. So it's working really well here. So far, so good. Things are actually going really, really well here today. So we'll be home in time for dinner. Imagine that. Okay, so this is the resident pump expert here. Resident pump expert, how are you going to blow out the line when you're done? What's the plan?
The plan, I'm going to hook up blowout cap up here with air pressure, put a sponge in, and blow it all the way through the lines out the end of the Spyder.
All the way up the Spyder. Wow. Well, now I got to hang out for that. That's going to be eventful.
And then after that, then 6 times we put a gallon of water, a 5-gallon pail of water, and a sponge, and do that 5 times.
5 times. 5 times over.
5 times over, and the last one, the water's clean, and we have no problem.
Excellent.
Take the pipe apart, and spick and span as if concrete had never gone through it.
There you go. That's how it's done.
And it's a lot less risky than the bullets.
Oh, the Go Devil. Yeah. Those can get stuck from time to time. Yes.
And they come out a lot harder.
I mean, ours don't get stuck because our pipes are really, really clean, but yes, you're right. They do. They come out way harder. I'm just giving him a hard time. He's right. They do. They absolutely do. So that's how it's done. So we'll
going this way out the other end.
Yeah, I can imagine. It's a lot of system. 600 feet of system, right?
Almost 700.
Almost 700. Okay. Okay. Well, I'm gonna have to hang around for that then. That'll be the grand finale to this video. Shoot, and I was gonna go home too. Dang it. All right, so here we go. You can see we got this last bit of concrete nice and wet. Nice and sloppy for an easy blowout. I would call that about a 7-inch slump. What do you think, 7-inch slump? Dan agrees, 7-inch slump. The committee has spoken. I'm gonna pop this down nice and low. Whoop. Perfect timing. So what's the technique? Do you go about, what, 70, 80 pounds, and as it gets close to the end of the run, you start dialing it down?
No, we got so much pipe here, we're full 120 pounds until it starts going up the tower.
Ah, and then you'll bleed it back down?
And we'll bleed it back.
Okay, what do you like to finish your road at, about 30 pounds?
25.
25? And a proper blowout cap that's actually got the vent port spaced such that if the sponge were to get pushed back into the cap, which can happen, there's a secondary relief point.
The only problem sometimes that doesn't work is because
it gets plugged up with concrete. Yeah. No, that's true. That's when you just tap the clamp with a hammer from really far away, and you play Jack in the Box with it. I was kidding. You don't really do that. Okay, we got air pressure now. So, just to reiterate, Dan has 1 round sponge in the elbow. He's going to blow the 1 sponge through first, get that all the way through to clean the line out, and then he's going to do 5 rounds of water and sponge just to get the pipes immaculately, impeccably, beautifully, perfectly clean. So. Oh, I better run into position to catch this coming out the end of the hose. So he's down there tapping the pipe, leading into the Spyder boom. And once we get the ting, ting, ting on the pipe there, that means that sponge ball is only 60 feet away from freedom. So we'll sit here, wait, watch, listen. This is the critical part here where they just really got to be careful with the air. Here it comes. Here it comes. Very, very close. And just like that, she's clean. All right, so sponge is through the Spyder boom. Placing boom line is all cleaned out. It's got another 150 cubic meters to go here with the 47 meter pump and the 56 meter pump. But yeah, that's pretty much gonna be a wrap on the exciting part of the day. So thanks for following along. I'm sure this is gonna be one of my longer videos, but it was kind of a cool pour, one of the more interesting ones that we've done in a while. So I appreciate everybody watching. See you next time.